In this video, we'll be putting the iRig Pro I/O to the test by recording some guitar here in GarageBand. Let's go. Hi, my name is Pete. Welcome to Studio Live today, where my goal is to help you create, record, and release your best music. Now, if you missed the previous video, I've just taken a first look and unboxed my new interface here, the iRig Pro I/O. So in this one, we're going to hook it up to the iPad here and record some guitar to see how it goes. Let's jump in now. Okay, so what we'll need for this is the device itself here, and we'll need the lightning cable that comes with it. So we're going to plug this end into this end, one of these little DIN connectors that are always hard to put in the right spot, and then the other end is going to go directly into our lightning port of our iPad, like so, and then it'll light up and say, yes, we are connected. So we're now going to be able to connect up a guitar into our 1/4" jack here, and then we'll be able to record it here in GarageBand. Let's do that now. So all we need is a standard 1/4" instrument cable here for our guitar. We're going to plug one end of this into the base of the iRig here. And we're going to make sure that the gain is turned down to 0 on the actual iRig. So this is important for any interface. Anytime you're plugging anything into anything, put the gain to 0 before you plug it into an instrument. We'll grab the other end of this one, and that's going to go, not surprisingly, into my guitar. So that's plugged into the guitar, into the iRig, into my iPad, and that is it. That's what the beauty of this, and this is what IK Multimedia advertise, is it's plug and play. You just need one cable. The device itself, it's powered up here. It's using the battery power of the iPad, and now we can go ahead and record. So let's get set up and record us some guitar. Okay, we are set up here, and yes, I've removed my face because it's more important that you see what's going on down here than up here. The other thing that we'll need to do is to actually connect some headphones. So to actually hear the output of this, we'll need to put some headphones into here and then dial in our sound so that we can hear it. Now, because I want you to be able to hear everything I'm recording, I'm actually going to plug this into my mixer and then plug some headphones into my mixer so that you're going to be able to hear as we play along. So let's do that now. All right, we've got our default amp set up here. I've got the headphones plugged in. Everything's at 0, so we need to make sure we dial it back up. But the first thing we're going to need to do here in GarageBand is, we've just got a default amp selected. We need to turn monitoring on. So we'll turn on monitoring. Now, we still won't hear anything because we still don't have anything turned up. So what we'll do first of all is I'll turn the volume up so that we can hear the output of this. There you go. You can start hearing the output of the guitar, and it's coming through and monitoring through the input. You're also hearing it a bit through the microphone, so don't worry if the sound sounds like that. I'll turn that off in a minute so you get a true feel for what this is going to do. Now, you'll notice here that we have the blue light on at the moment, which means we're connected. When we play, we get a green light. So that's a good sign. And then what we can do, if we dial the gain up, you'll hear we're getting louder until we get orange, which means we're close to clipping and peaking, and if it's red, then we are overcooking it. So yes, you're getting that distortion in there, but that's not the sort of distortion you want. That's clipping distortion. We want to use an amp sim if we want distortion. So make sure that your gain is dialed in where you're getting a green signal, not an orange or a red signal. And too many folks dial their gain up too loud. So we'll turn that down. That's looking and sounding good. So that is really all there is to it. We've got our output volume on this side. We've got our input volume here, which is our gain that we're dialing in. And now we can actually go ahead and record some guitar. So I have no idea what the beat is that I've set up here, but let's just hit record and see if we can record We'll just record a few little chords here. I'll just turn that gain down a bit more. We'll just play with it. I've got a little bit of orange going on there, but I'm getting used to the setup of this. So let's hit record. We can do better than that, can't we? Yeah, of course we can. I think I'm a little bit out of tune too. Let me tune up a little bit and then we'll try that again. All right, I've dialed in an amp here in GarageBand that I think is going to sound a little bit better. Let's have a play. So what I'm impressed at so far is, listen to this noise. There's a very little background noise. Now, when we turn the distortion on, we'll have a little bit more of that amp sound, but I'm getting a nice clean tone. Without much going on in the background. So this is a sign that you're going to have a good clean input here, as opposed to some of the analog devices that I've used where you don't get that nice clean sound. So that's the beauty of using a digital device like the iRig Pro IO. Anyway, let's hit record, and I'm just going to record in a track here of this guitar, and then we'll play it back and see what it sounds like. I'll turn off the microphone as well, so all you'll be hearing is the internal sound coming from the iPad here. Alright, so that's recorded in there, and you can see our waveform's looking okay there. I probably could start turning this gain up a bit. When I'm using a new device, and this is the first time I've actually used this, I tend to start with lower gain. I don't want to clip, I'd rather have it too low, and then I'll slowly dial it up from there. Alright, let's just do another test here. Let's add a distorted guitar tone, shall we? So we're going to tap the plus button down here in GarageBand. We're going to add in a new amp here. We'll tap on that one, and let's dial in a distorted tone here. So we're going to grab this one, we'll go to distorted, and what's one that I like here? We'll scroll down here. I like the Seattle sound. So now when I play, nothing happens. Why? Because I don't have my monitoring back on. Yes, every time you do this, just probably as a safety precaution, it'll turn the monitoring off on your new track. So again, we've got our volume down pretty low. We're going to turn on monitoring, and now and you can hear there, we've got the noise gate enabled. If we turn the noise gate off, there's that background noise. Now, keep in mind, we didn't have this background noise on the other amp sim. This is the amp tone providing that. If I just make sure all the strings are off, that's the natural background sound of this amp simulator. It's not part of the iRig. So the iRig itself, pretty clean, pretty impressed with that so far. Let's now lay down another track. I'll turn the mic back off. We'll lay a distorted track over the top just so that we can hear how this performs with a distorted tone. Let's go back to our track view, like so. It'll turn the monitoring off. There you go. So yeah, you can see again, I could probably aim to turn the gain up a little bit, and I will experiment with that as we go along. But for now, I think it's actually sounding pretty good. Let's bring out our mixer, like so, and maybe just turn this one down a little bit, and let's just play these two tracks back. We'll turn off the metronome, play these two tracks back together and see what we're sounding like. Yeah, you know what? I'm pretty darn impressed so far for how simple it was to set this up and to hook this up. Plugged in our guitar, dialed in our gain, plugged in some headphones, and we're off to the races. We're recording guitars on this in no time at all. And the quality I'm getting here is right up there with the USB audio interfaces that I use here. So that will be the real test, and that will be something we'll be doing in a future video, is does this compare and compete with those? At this stage on the surface, definitely a big step up on your analog interfaces, and definitely something that I'm getting a good guitar tone out of here. So I'm going to continue playing with this. We'll be looking at this with vocals, with bass, with even some MIDI drums and MIDI keyboards in future videos. So stick around for those if you found this interesting. If you've got any comments, questions, or suggestions, or things you'd like me to test on this, drop those in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.